My name is Daniel, and this is a living sacrifice. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. How many of us are not even offering God what is considered to be our reasonable service because we have failed to present our bodies as living sacrifices, but instead we have conformed to the image of what this world says we should be? Romans 12:2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect, the perfect will of God. How many of us are failing to prove what is acceptable and holy in the eyes of God because we have not presented our lives as living sacrifices? And I beseech you as brethren, and I beseech you as sisters, and I beseech you as fellow laborers of the gospel, please don't become hostile because these words are being spoken. I'm praying that you're listening and receiving it with the spirit of thanksgiving, that you would learn this is our mission, to present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable in the eyes of God, for this is a reasonable service. And many of us as Christians have failed to even do what is reasonably considered to be our reasonable service, that we would reasonably present our lives before God as a living sacrifice, because instead we've allowed our heart to grow cold and our love for God to grow stale because we've seen the flaws of humanity and we refuse and we rebel against God because of the flaws of another man, as if that man is the only representative of the Lord Jesus Christ. As if that man's failures or his wrongs justify your wrongs and make you right. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. See, if we don't present our lives as living sacrifices unto God, any other sacrifices that we're offering before the foot of the cross or before the everlasting throne of God is utterly unacceptable. It's like offering up strange fire because we refuse to allow our whole lives to be lived as unto God. It's like burning tires when you're supposed to use charcoal so you can cook the food thoroughly. It's like pouring bleach into the flames and expecting a change, or expecting that savor of that worship to be acceptable unto God when you haven't even really given him your life. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And a lot of us are failing to do what is considered to be our reasonable service because we have failed to give God our lives as a living sacrifice. But instead we giving him parts and pieces and parcels of our lives instead of giving him all of our heart. And it's no wonder we're stuck in the mud, running in circles. If you're not manifesting the glory of God or becoming the sons of God manifested in the earth, because we're still running after the same old sins, living in the same old dirt when we're supposed to be presenting not just our praise and worship out of verbal mouths and hands being lifted, but we're supposed to be presenting our lives before God as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Verse 2 of Romans 12. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. How are we to prove what is holy and acceptable unto God and is perfect in his sight and in his will? When we have not learned to yield our lives as living sacrifices, when we have become conformed to the images of this world and what a Christian should be, should we not consider it a shame to even offer up these sacrifices of praise that we think will be acceptable in his name, because we have not given him all of us, and who's left to blame but ourselves because we are standing in our way? Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. It's time that we stop giving God parts, pieces, and parcels of our lives, and that we present our bodies as living sacrifices. We have entered a time where nothing else will count and nothing else will matter. It's time that we present our bodies as living sacrifices, holy and acceptable unto God. For this is our reasonable service. My name is Daniel. I pray this has been a blessing to you. May the Lord bless you and may He keep you. God bless you.